So it has become very common to dunk on women, especially coming from the political right. And to be honest, there is a lot to own them on. You know, feminism, hookup culture, the way they vote, you name it. If there's a problem with women, people are going to talk about it. But it's not all women, and it's wrong to assume that it is. You also don't win by straight up attacking half of the population. You win by amplifying and supporting positivity and showing cautionary tales with empathy. Today, we have some awesome wins to amplify because, all over my social media, I see women waking up. But before we dive into this, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the comment section channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss one of our episodes. Alright, so I have a ton of videos here, so you just need to bear with me for a bit because I just want you to see what I'm seeing on my social media. This first one is a young woman on TikTok telling her 200,000 plus followers why she left the left. Just watch.
People always ask me, hey, Chelly, what made you walk away from the Democratic Party / liberalism? It was a process. It started when I first started paying taxes.
Imagine that. You grow up, get a job, become an adult, and realize they're taking all of your money, and you're poor because of the government, not because of anything you're doing. I mean, sometimes it is because of the things you're doing, but a lot of the time, it's because of the government.
My hate for Democrats got a lot worse when I started looking into government spending and I realized how they spent our money. For example, did you know that over the last 5 years, California has spent over $20 billion on the homeless crisis? Now, if you live in LA, you're wondering, hey, where did that money go? Because it's only gotten worse. They can't tell you how those $20 billion were spent. They don't know where they went. They can't even tell you if those $20 billion were effective.
That's because it went to executive salaries. It was funneled into nonprofits with executives who make hundreds of thousands of dollars. The money went to paying them, not actually fixing the problem. And that's basically the government in a nutshell.
Capable of balancing a budget instead of reining in their spending. Do you know what they're doing? They're increasing taxes on the average American, meaning that more of the hours you work aren't going to be for you or your family, they're going to be for someone else. And you know who's getting screwed the most? Middle-class, hard-working Americans. Correct.
And
And that's the tip of the iceberg. That's just a financial side, and it does get worse. When it comes to what Democrats, how they're trying to groom children in schools, it's disturbing.
Spitting facts. I mean, this is like common sense. This should be common sense. And yet, this is seen as some radical take. Radical for walking away from the Democratic Party. Because that is how extreme so many of them have become.
No reason that the government and the school system should be transitioning a young minor, encouraging them to get surgeries, encouraging to get medical treatments that they can't take back without the consent or knowledge from the parents. Actually, they help hide this from the parents.
That's the most horrifying part. And this doesn't just happen in the gender ideology and sexuality space. Schools are medicating kids for mental illnesses and ADHD without telling parents, and they think that's okay. They've just gotten so comfortable with subverting parental authority, and that's being driven by one political party. I mean, she did not have a single miss in that video. 2 minutes of straight facts. And she is not alone. That is the point I want to drive home today. She is not alone. And not every video will be as direct, straightforward, or hard-hitting as hers. But they are making their voices heard. Just look at this.
Growing up is realizing that Donald Trump, you might not agree with the man socially or morally. However, that motherfucker got it on lock when it comes to the economy. Peep the guy. Listen. Don't cancel me. Don't shoot the messenger. Sexy Red said it, so I'ma say it too.
And what you said in the video is, Republican is the new spring trend, just saying. And then she's like, I'm sorry, but I need a job. Yeah, and she's not wrong. If you want to be a thriving adult in society right now, we need a better economy, and Joe Biden is not giving us that. Here's another one.
My biggest issue with liberals is that they literally hate our country. They hate the country that they live in. And it never made any sense to me. Like, if you don't like it here that much, pack a bag and...
They'll always threaten that, but they'll never do it. I'm going to leave if Trump gets elected. I'm really going to leave this time, in 2024, if he gets elected. No, you're not. Because deep down, you know that we've got it good. Deep down, you know that this still is the freest place on earth. You don't actually want to leave. You just like being angry and making yourself out to be a victim.
These liberals see the state of our country and they still think that he is doing a good job and they're going to go vote for.
Again, here's another.
The fake news said my personality would get us into a war. I'm telling you, my personality is what kept us out of war.
There is not a single Trump hype edit that I will scroll past. I will watch every single one of them. It gets me so fired up. Just like this girl is saying in her video, she said, "It's not cute or trendy to hate on Trump anymore. Don't be foolish and vote Trump 2024. And it's so important to note, guys, these are not political accounts. These are not girls who have MAGA in their bio or labels like right-wing political commentator or my takes on culture. These are just random, normal girls, some with followings, some without. They're just normal women getting online and sharing their thoughts. The response on every single one of those videos that we just watched has been overwhelmingly positive. The way I'm voting is based on what I've seen happen under both of them. Comparing my quality of living under each is how I'll determine my vote. A great way to do it. And I think we all know which way that vote will go, because I think we're all living in this economy. Another girl said, "This." Another one said, "Yes." Another girl said, "Say it louder for the people in the back." Another girl said, "These are facts. That man can call me whatever he wants, don't care. He isn't sitting at my dinner table as long as I can live comfortably." Another girl said, "Absolute facts." So it's not even men in the comment section being like, "Yes, I love seeing a conservative girl," or "a girl with common sense." It's other women hyping these girls up on social media. And on top of this, it's not even just normal girls with no followings. Even big pop culture internet celebrities are comfortable toying with the idea of supporting him, which, guys, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, was outlawed. I mean, just listen to what this ex-Barstool podcaster had to say.
I was mad at Donald Trump for a very long time. I just watched the Jake Paul trailer interview. I don't know. Is there something refreshing about the guy? Is that because I'm comparing him to Joe? Yeah. Like, I'm still mad at him. I don't want to say I miss him, but do I miss him? I don't miss him, but do I like watching his content? Why is the president making content? At least he knows where he's at. Is he going to win the election? Am I going to vote for him? I don't think so. Maybe. What the fuck?
The fact that this video was able to be posted and kept up, like her caption was, "I'll probably leave this up for like 6 seconds." And she's left it up for weeks at this point. Again, because the response has been incredible. There was not a single negative comment. It was all people being like, "Yeah, you know, you're right. I don't really remember why I was mad at him. I know that I was better off then than I am now." It's just wild. This country might still be a mess, but a lot has changed in the last 4 years. 4 years ago, I was hyperventilating about posting something where I spoke out against lockdowns, or how I wasn't going to vote for Biden, because the threat of losing friends and an entire career was real. I mean, cancel culture was the thing that I was the most afraid of. That's why I almost didn't want to take the job here at Daily Wire and start the show, because I was, literally, petrified that I was going to lose everything. It is not the same today. Things have changed in a major way, and the numbers back it up, especially in regard to women. This report came out in April. Most young women hold conservative beliefs but hide them. Now, specifically, the survey found that 79% of women think a stay-at-home mom is equal in success to women in a professional field, which we never hear, because we only hear the feminists screaming about girl bosses and how they don't want to be moms, and how they think that kids are crotch goblins, whatever they're calling them. They also found that 74% think that kids should have the opportunity to attend a school of their choice, regardless of their zip code. That's school choice. 71% oppose transgender surgeries for minors. Again, a very common sense, rational take. 68% plan to be married with at least one child by the time they're 30. 64% think that hookup culture is harmful to women. Why do we keep pushing it? Why do we keep lying to the next generation if that's what we believe and that's what we know? Last one. 62% oppose men competing in women's sports. Based on this survey, more women have traditional or common-sense conservative values. They just won't or don't want to label themselves as conservative or Republican, which is fine. I don't care how you label yourself, as long as you're not wanting to harm children and lie to women about what's good for them. And what we just read there in that survey, those are not even crazy political right-wing takes. They just go against what has become the general left-wing narrative. Like, that is how radical it's gotten over there. And as you can probably infer from those numbers, a lot of women have been pushed over the edge by the trans issue. Maybe think like the Title IX changes that Biden did. Watch this.
Hey, happy Monday. I also heard, and I forgot to bring this up in my earlier video, that the Title IX, which was, supposed to protect women in sports, that the Biden administration decided to change it up. Let me make this really abundantly clear for everybody that's watching. And I want you to hear me really, really carefully when I say this to you. Ready? Getting laws changed and forcing your way into female spaces, okay? It doesn't prove to the world that you're a woman. What it proves is to the extent of male power, privilege, and entitlement.
The whole feminist issue has been flipped on its head. There's now this huge divide in feminism. There are the feminists who are moving forward with progressivism, who have latched onto the transgender issue. And then there are women who have been labeled as TERFs because they're not in support of that. Because they're not in support of biological men being in their spaces. In my opinion, this is the correct way to look at it. Because feminism, by definition, is equality of the sexes. Making sure that men and women are on equal playing fields. Not that men now get to come in and trample over everything that we've built and worked for. It literally does not make sense, by the original definition of feminism, to be on that new progressive side of feminism, whatever it is, the fifth wave, sixth wave. I don't even know what wave we're on anymore. And then, on top of the total line changes, maybe it's stories like this, where the Canadian Cancer Society issued an apology for using the word cervix when they were discussing cervical cancer. Instead, moving forward, they will use the term front hole so that they do not trigger biological men. That is absurd. No wonder women are angry. I mean, women are getting more fed up than ever, and they are getting bolder as a consequence. I mean, more and more videos like this are coming out.
People here are so kind. I feel very safe here. It's a little sad that I had to leave my country to feel safe.
Dylan's talking about Peru.
Eventually.
Okay, so for some reason, every time I try to stitch Dylan's video, it just mutes me. So we're gonna try this. So Peru just passed a bill that classifies any transgender, non-binary, or intersex people as mentally ill. I don't know if you guys remember, but Dylan Mulvaney fled the United States to go to Peru to feel safe. But now Dylan would be considered mentally ill if Dylan were in.
Now, this video is relatively unbiased, but you can kind of infer what she's saying here. Obviously, she used a specific clip from Dylan's video, obviously making a point. And guys, the comments under this video were insane. I was genuinely shocked. I think I'm still in the position where I'm expecting the worst every time I open a comment section. But I opened it up, and it was not people screeching or defending Dylan. These are the comments. Yes, Peru. Ooh, I like Peru. So are we all going to Peru now? And again, every one of these is from a woman. It was all women responding, saying, "This is great." I mean, literally, guys, a year ago, exactly a year ago, I was getting regular death threats and about to be kicked off of YouTube for talking about Dylan Mulvaney. Here's another one that is very spot on.
Real quickly, just so we're all clear and on the same page, I hope every single woman who decided they would rather be with a bear than a man is also in agreement with those of us who would rather men not be in spaces designated for women.
And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.